Rome conquered the known world: Gaul, Egypt, Greece, Spain, and most of Britain, all of it swallowed by the empire. And then, standing on the west coast of Britain, the Romans looked across a narrow strip of sea at a green, misty island and decided not to bother. Ireland was never conquered by Rome, and that single fact shaped everything about what Ireland became. The Romans certainly thought about it. Around the year 80, the Roman governor of Britain, Agricola, stood on the coast looking toward Ireland, which the Romans called Hibernia, the land of winter. According to the historian Tacitus, who happened to be Agricola's son-in-law, Agricola reckoned the island could be taken and held with a single legion and some auxiliaries. He even kept an exiled Irish king on hand, ready to use as an excuse to invade. So the plan existed, the general was confident, and then nothing happened. Why not? In a word, maths. Rome was a ruthlessly practical empire, and conquest had to pay for itself. Ireland, as far as Rome could tell, had no great cities to loot, no gold mines worth the trouble. Just rain, bogs, cattle, and a lot of well-armed locals who knew the terrain. And Rome already had its hands full next door. They never fully conquered northern Britain either. They gave up and built Hadrian's Wall to keep the Scots out. If you can't hold the top of the island you're already on, a wet, profitless island across the sea starts to look like a very expensive hobby. So Ireland got a pass, not out of mercy, but out of accounting. That doesn't mean the Romans ignored Ireland. They knew it well. Roman coins, jewellery, and pottery turn up at Irish sites, and there's a coastal fort at Drumanagh, north of Dublin, packed with Roman material, possibly a trading post, possibly a bridgehead. Historians still argue about it. The Greek-Roman geographer Ptolemy even drew a map of Ireland around the year 150, naming its rivers and tribes with surprising accuracy. So Rome traded with Ireland, mapped it, and visited it. It simply never planted a legion and called it a province. And here's why that matters. Because Rome never came, Ireland was never Romanized. No Roman roads, no Roman towns, no Latin administration, no togas. While Britain was being paved, taxed, and rebuilt in Rome's image, Ireland carried on as a Celtic, Gaelic world, with its own language, its own Brehon laws, its own art, and its own kings. When Rome's grip on Britain eventually collapsed, much of Romano-British culture collapsed with it. Ireland's never had to. The old Celtic world that was erased almost everywhere else in Western Europe survived, intact, on the one island Rome couldn't be bothered to take. And then comes the twist. After the Western Roman Empire fell, and much of Europe slid into chaos and lost learning, it was the monasteries of unconquered, unromanized Ireland that quietly copied and preserved the books, including the Latin and classical texts of Rome itself. Irish monks then carried that learning back out across Europe, so the one island Rome never conquered ended up safeguarding the legacy of Rome. Ireland didn't just dodge the empire, it outlived it and then filed its paperwork. Rome took most of the known world, but it stood on the shore, looked across the Irish Sea, did the sums, and blinked. And because of that single decision, Ireland kept a culture the rest of Western Europe lost. Not bad, for a wet island full of cattle. If you enjoyed watching an empire flinch, subscribe. Next time, the catastrophe that emptied Ireland, the Great Famine, and the question Britain still doesn't much like to answer. Mind yourself.